Hey guys, so I know we are literally almost halfway into November, and I'm only just now starting to feel okay enough to start reviewing all the Thanksgiving themed specials and episodes of things that I wanted to review this month. I wanted to do one for each day leading up to Thanksgiving. Kind of like how I wanted to do a Halloween one every day of October, and then shit happened. And then my dog died and really let the wind out of my sails for doing anything. And it's been a couple weeks now. I'm finally starting to kind of hit some kind of normality. And I'm like, alright, let's dust ourselves off. Let's get back on the pony. Let's start going. So I did my math on this messily. But I'm like, alright, if I crank out 2 a day, every day, I could totally catch up with all except for the one that I had planned to post on Thanksgiving itself. So I'm like, how realistic this is for me to pull off? Probably not. Am I gonna give it an old college try? Sure, I'm gonna try, but I don't realistically see myself actually succeeding at this. But anyway, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna fucking try. So our first one, seeing as you're hearing clicking on it, you already know, is from Rugrats All Grown Up. I think it's just called All Grown Up. Rugrats isn't in the title, but it is literally still Rugrats. And this is the episode, RV Having Fun Yet? Now, this was a 2-parter episode, so I had to track down both halves of it, which made it even more challenging than just finding a regular one. But anyway, it's been freaking forever since I've seen Rugrats All Grown Up, and I think I kind of forgot how weird this show was in general. Yeah, I watched it at the time when it aired because I loved Rugrats, and then, the concept of, like, them grown up, at least into teenagers anyway. Although, judging by this one, I guess they're tweens, not actual teens. Maybe Angelica, but, like, the rest of them, they're tweens. So, alright, fine. Still intriguing enough to where it caught my attention. I'm like, I want to see what they grow up into. Oh my god, yeah, let's watch that. And yet, that show is like a fever dream because I only remember like the weirdest little bits and blips from it and nothing else. And even having revisited it since then, once or twice, I still remember like nothing about it. So it's just like, that speaks volumes to me for how iconic the original series was, and how much of that will forever live rent-free in my head the rest of my life, and yet, this spin-off show, nope, like, that speaks volumes. But anyway, so the premise of this episode is that Susie Carmichael actually got a whole thing where she's supposed to sing in the Gracie's Day Parade, for Thanksgiving, a song about cheese. It's a song to honor the cheese workers of America. Don't ask! I don't fucking know either! I don't fucking know! But this is like a whole ass plot point. And Angelica is having none of it because she is jealous as hell because Angelica. Nuff said. And even as her teen self, I'm like, I still relate to Angelica. I always did, even when it was like the original series, but it's like, shit, even here, it's like, yeah, and she is like actively trying to sabotage Susie the entire damn episode. Everything from not so subtle, here, let me just like accidentally spill this drink on you while you're excitedly telling us about this, to trying to trap her in a bathroom stall on the road so they leave without her, to like all sorts of crazy shit. She has it out for Susie big time because she cannot handle the fact that Susie has some kind of shot at fame and she doesn't. So it's a whole ass thing. She's gonna go to New York for that, and the rest of them think they're just gonna watch her on TV. Meanwhile, the parents are having their own conversation about, hey, why don't we all do a trip to New York to see the Gracie's Day Parade in person and cheer on Susie while she's singing on the float? So they decide, yeah, let's do that. And it'll be like a great bonding experience with the kids because Dr. Lipschitz says, because it always comes back to Dr. Lipschitz, am I right? Dr. Lipschitz says, this might be our last chance. Wow, before they turn into full-grown teenagers that hate us. Like, we need to take this chance to bond with them. It might be our last shot. So rather than doing the same thing and taking a plane there, they decide to do a road trip. But not just a road trip, an RV road trip. And thank God my dad didn't see this episode, because anything involving RVs always sparks that in him of, we should do an RV road trip. I'm like, fuck you. Like, no. Like, we should not do that. But anyway, yeah, they decide to do that, and they even, like, go to this RV lot to pick out a nice RV, and the kids are all on board seeing how high-tech this RV they're looking at that day is. You know damn well where this is going just from that setup, right? If you don't, if somehow you didn't guess, even though it's pretty crystal clear, yeah, the day they're supposed to leave on their trip, up rolls this crap shack of an RV because Phil and Lil's mom wanted to get a good deal and thinks she got more space in this one for less money, even though it is literally falling the hell apart. It's moldy, it's gross, it's nothing like the other one. Yeah. And this pretty much sets the tone for the whole trip, as you can imagine. So that would be bad enough. But Dee Dee decided to make a rule about no screen time on the RV trip because Dr. Lipschitz says on a road trip, the kids should be bored out of their minds so they can't zone out. I'm over here watching this, like, I'm sorry, wouldn't that be more of an invitation to zone out if you're that bored? Logic, I swear, this show does not have it. But anyway, so this is already an absolute hellhole of a trip, going cross-country for a week, which I'm like, you can't do the whole US in a week in an RV like that. It ain't happening. That's not how this works. But regardless, they're claiming they can do it in 5 days. Again, logic. It's a show for children. They're not supposed to know better. Anyway, so along the way, Dee Dee thinks they're gonna stop at all these great landmarks for bonding experiences with the kids, but they're all really stupid ones, like the world's largest onion museum. The Great Ball of Twine, because every show ever that has anything with road trips always has to include that one, to the point where when I found out that's a real thing that exists in real life, I was like, wait, that wasn't just a joke for cartoons, that's actually a thing. Yeah, shit like that. It's all stuff like that, and the kids are miserable. So is Chucky's stepmom, who keeps getting food poisoning because Phil and Lil's mom legitimately cannot find reputable places to get food, but she's mysteriously the only one getting sick from this somehow. Don't ask, I don't know. Cartoon logic. Every 2 seconds she's throwing up. I'm getting triggered even just seeing that in a cartoon. I'm like, I can't handle this. Fuck. But anyway, so regardless, that's the whole thing. The kids feel victimized that their moms can't understand that they're grown up now. I mean, child, you are like 12. Calm the fuck down. But anyway, easy to say from the other side as an adult, right? But anyway, they don't understand why the adults won't let them do anything they want to do on this trip. Why they can't treat them like the grown-ups that they totally are at this point. Why they won't just let them be themselves. This, that, and the other. Why can't they just not hover and be moms all the time? Yeah. Basically, they get this harebrained scheme to sneak out in the middle of the night off with these other teenagers that for some reason they ran into on the road, who are telling them about like this weird Indian like I don't know if burial ground is the right word for it, but basically you go here in the middle of the night and they do some ceremony and you can see like the ghost of some ancient Indian ride across the sky or something. It's weird. I didn't claim it wasn't. It's in New Mexico. Things are weird in New Mexico, so I'm like, I'm not even questioning it, because, I mean, shit like that probably does go down in New Mexico, let's be real. But anyway, it's very hippy-dippy and all that. But regardless, little do they know, especially since they did, like, the whole Hey Boy thing in each of the sleeping bags to make it look like they're all asleep. Phil and Lil's mom left without him. She didn't know she left without him, but overnight they drive 600 miles. Yep. Not a clue that they left without all of the kids. Cool. Somewhere in there they find a dog. This was before this, by the way. They find a random ass dog that they're gonna sneak keeping who destroys everything. And really just like wants Phil's backpack the whole damn time. Literally follows them across multiple states just to get that backpack. Anyway. So yeah, now they have the dilemma of how the hell are we going to be reunited with our parents? Oh my god, why did we bitch about our mom so much? Oh, when I would give just to be back with my mom. Blah. Yeah, it's their come to Jesus moment. There's a whole long thing where they go to the ranger station. Hold on a minute. Sorry about that. Anyway, so they go to the ranger station, more or less trying to figure out what they're gonna do. How are they gonna find their parents? Da-da-da-da-da-da. They have no money. How are they gonna pull this off? And somewhere around that same time, the parents realize that the kids are missing. I think we somehow left them behind in New Mexico. Yeah, so they call the ranger station, just instinctively knowing that they'd be there. Again, I don't know. So they talk to the kids. I think Chucky's mom gives them her credit card number so they can get like bus fare, as if you could literally just give the number and get tickets. Yeah, again, you're not supposed to think of this stuff. You're not supposed to think of it. Just don't question it. Cartoon logic. It's fine. But yeah, but to get from point A to point B, since they're kinda in the middle of nowhere, they get put on a dog sled team to go find where the nearest bus depot is. And even though they're in New Mexico, it's snowy everywhere, even though it was perfectly sunny before, and makes no sense. Again, I got nothing. I think they were just trying to go with something that sounded like it would be just exotic enough to fit in with, like, Native American culture. I don't know. But anyway, it takes them to Amish country. Let that sink in. Think about the geography of the U.S. Have we let that sink in? Of how far they would have had to have gone on a dog sled team for that to be a thing? Yeah. Again, not supposed to question it. Watching it as an adult kind of ruins it, not gonna lie, but I'm pretty sure even if I had watched this when it first came out, which I probably did, I would have been sitting there nitpicking this like, this makes no sense. It's like, I know where Amish country is, and it's nowhere near New Mexico, so anyway. And also, I think it's further away than the state that the parents were allegedly in, because I think they were, like, in Missouri or something, so I'm like, you're telling me they completely bypassed that state to go to Pennsylvania to then backpedal? What? Hell is happening? Anyway, and like somewhere in there they like take a hot air balloon ride across multiple states. They make the obligatory "we're not in Kansas anymore" joke while in the hot air balloons. Cute, but also like, bro, really, are we really doing this right now? We're really just padding out this episode as far as we can to turn it into a 2-episode dealio. Alright, fine. They eventually get reunited with the moms and everything, who, by the way, their RV has broken down by now. Just to top it all off. They can't even just turn around and go get them. So they're really thinking, yeah, there's no way at all that Susie's ever gonna make it. And yet, Tommy still finds a way to save the day and gets it all to be possible for them to make it in time in like the most convoluted way possible, but whatever. Again, don't question it. Roll with it. They eventually make it. Susie sings in the parade. For all that they had to go through to get to the parade, they somehow get upgraded to like first class suites and everything to stay in like some swanky hotel. And then they decide everyone's really snobby there and they don't like it and would rather be on the RV. I cannot. Anyway, I don't know. It just... Even for this series, I'm just like, what the hell kind of fever dream episode was this? Oh my god, it was a trip, literally. If I had to rate this one, I mean, do we rate it as a full special, or do we rate part 1 and part 2 separate from each other? Because if we're rating the entire thing together, all is one thing, I would maybe give it like a 3 out of 5. Now, if we're going part 1 and part 2, I think I might give part 1 a 4. And give part 2 a 2. So, it does even out, average-wise, into a 3 for the whole thing, but... I don't know. I mean, it's still cute, and I'm sure if you grew up watching this each year, I'm sure it's very nostalgic for you. Even though I remember watching the show when it first aired, I don't remember seeing this special, though, at all, which is weird, because I almost definitely did watch it. Bizarre. But anyway... What just fell down? I don't know. But anyway, guys, that is it for this one. So, as usual, you know what to do. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe. Hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an upload. Leave comments down below. Make sure you're following my social media accounts, my Facebook fan page, my Twitter, my Instagram, my eBay, my Reddits, everything and more. It's all down below. And if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, the donation link, as always, is down in the description. Anyway, guys, till next time, see ya.